Bachira, 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 my boy. How happy I am. What's up, guys? That guy with a pencil here. Fun fact, I do mean to have it on me and keep it on me at all times. And another fun fact, Bachira, 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 Meguru. My boy, my boy. I have 10 minutes to talk about how I feel about how he was handled in the new Egoist League, starting now. And I think it's unfortunate, but I think he was put in the most appropriate spot. And the reason I say that is because Bachira is a fan favorite character. Undeniably, he's still one of my favorites. Is he in my top 5? I don't know. He hasn't gotten enough for me. Has he? I don't know, man. What's the top? That's another time, and I only have 10 minutes. Let me get too distracted. But essentially, Bachira is a super fan favorite character, and notably, for every single Bachira fan out there who has them as their favorite or their number 2 or their number 3, they've been in absolute agony for like the last 4 years because Bachira has been taking nothing but L after L after L after L after L. Okay, that's way too many L's. He didn't play that many games, but still, regardless, Bachira has kind of been going through it. He had to put the entirety of Bachira, might as well be his own name team, Bachira, on his back in order to simply put up okay numbers. Like, he was getting stomped by basically everybody. Of course, he didn't actually get stomped too badly by BM when they were still, struggling to even operate as a proper team. But at the same time, he didn't really win. It didn't help that he got schmixed by start of Neo Egoist League Isagi, which is absolutely insane, Bachira. How'd you let yourself get schmixed that early? And then, of course, his next game didn't actually go too well because he kind of got his back blown out by Uber. Unfortunately, they were used as hype fodder in order to set up Barrow's hat trick, in order to make Barrow the next big threat for the Uber's game. And that unfortunately didn't get any better because, of course, our glorious legendary UC's currently Nemesis King Shido came in and said, "Oh, Otoya and Bachira, 2 random fodder, let me blow your backs out," and blew their backs out as well. I think he got 2 goals and Ring got 1 goal in that game, so absolutely violation. But, I think it's fine. I think it's okay. I think it's a good narrative point for Bachira. Mainly because Bachira was never in any danger. Like, notably, Bachira being the backpack, being the core of the team, consistently scoring goals, consistently evolving, and consistently progressing through regressing, re-evolving, reintegrating, and developing his monster is a really interesting path for the character. And I think almost basically a necessary one. Because while the idea of Bachira leaving his monster behind was a cool idea, obviously, it's kind of like a hallmark selling point of the character, and very specifically having Lavahino be like, "Gang, you need to do what you need to do with what you got. Don't try to rip anything else. Don't try to rip anything from me. You take a little bit of my side, but I ain't teaching you jack." And seeing Bachira take that and ultimately make Bachira's own team, put it on his back like that, that's really, really good. Especially considering when you think about it, how Bachira was used narratively throughout the entire back section of Blue Lock, he was never really a headliner when you think about it. Ultimately, he wasn't really the headliner of Team Z. That was much more Isagi's whole forte, naturally, because Isagi's the main character. He wasn't really the headliner of Ren's team, because, it was Ren's team, so that was another case where he wasn't really the main character. Heck, even in the U20 game, he wasn't really a headliner, man. The guy didn't even get a goal, not an assist, nothing. He's kind of been in the trenches for the entire series when you think about it. Of course, he has his moments in the early manga, but that's it. They're just moments. For a guy who's basically our deuteragonist, unless you want to argue it's Rin or Nagi, he kind of didn't really get all too much. So seeing him put a whole team on his back and put up solid numbers is actually one of the best performances we could have gotten, and keeps him narratively balanced and puts him in a safe enough position that we don't have to worry about him getting banished. But of course, this is all talking about the majority of the league. We gotta talk about the last game of Bum versus Bum, Bachira versus Manshine. And very specifically, the reason I love how this was handled for Bachira from a writing front is that it is kind of a revenge tour for Bachira in almost every single way. Because Reo disrespected him, occasionally Chigiri disrespected him, and especially Nagi disrespected Bachira. And very specifically, called out Bachira's inability to grow, develop, evolve, and be free of the need and adoration and respect of Isagi. So of course, when Bachira comes out and smacks his knee on the table and is like, "What? You? Over a line on somebody? I thought I got critique for that before, but I guess not. Looks like only one of us here is a bum," and going absolutely buku bonkers, scoring the opener and the closing goal. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. And I think it works so well for Bachira, mainly because he is a character who's basically the most heavily steeped in freedom of all of our Blue Lockers. To some degree, Barrow is limited by his mindset. Isagi is somewhat limited by his mindset. Rin, Shido, all of them, Shido, maybe not Shido, but ultimately, Bachira has this free nature to him. And the new Aegis League, once again, pushes that idea of progression through regression by not having him just re-unlock the monster, but reincorporate the world. The whole idea of Lavahino's playing style and the rhythm and the flow that goes into it, and building that into Bachira, something to make him, honestly, a better all-around player. Bachira can almost play any role now. As we saw, he was clearly the lead striker, so he can still do that. We know he's still a fantastic midfielder with great facilitating abilities, and by the end of the Manshine game, he was a defender. He came out of the way and sniped that pass, and then dove down the entire field by himself, broke through all the opposition, and scored. And of course, it's Manshine. So, like, who cares? But at the same time, showing that Bachira's evolution is so solid and it's diversified his skill set is the best thing you could have done with him. Because ultimately, because of Bachira's narrative importance, I know it seemed like he doesn't have much, considering he was getting absolutely washed for a majority of the league. But still, considering his narrative importance, I'm glad we didn't get too much off-screen development for him. Ultimately, we couldn't give him too much development in the first game because we were still setting up the new Aegis League as a concept and setting up characters like Kaiser, Isagi, Noah, and all that. But at the same time, I didn't really want him to grow too much to the point where, like, we're skipping major character development points. So having him fold into the progression through regression theme, having him get a massive evolution, having him get a get back on all of Manshine, especially Nagi for his previous critiques of Bachira, and having it wrap up with Bachira being the one to banish Nagi, you know, the original Deuteragonist, fighting with the Deuteragonist who got his own manga, and very specifically knocking him out of the way, while giving him a critique and while rising Bachira to the level of the what? Some good stuff. It's good stuff. It's good, it's solid, it's meaty, it's juicy. Like, it's filling. I don't know how to, like, say this without making it sound weird, but it's like a good, solid meal. It's gonna keep you full for the rest of the day, and maybe even a little bit into the next one. Because Bachira is a character who sort of fills that role. He's very... This sounds so strong. He's very beefy in terms of his character, right? He's always there to facilitate and organize and grow other characters while developing into himself, and that's what he did throughout the new Aegis League. He raised Otoya up. He technically, in a weird way, raised Lavahino up. He raised Nagi up. He raised Isagi up. He raised everybody up and raised his own level, and that's now why I'm excited for him in the U20. Because he's going to be in a different kind of role. Obviously, there's no way on this good green earth that Bachira's going to be the lead striker. It's not happening. It's not. But with it being the case, I now believe that Bachira could hypothetically go on a buku bonkers run, running through the entire field and scoring. Because we've seen him do it before. I believe that Bachira can play any role imaginable. He's going to be a crazy defender. He's going to be a crazy midfielder. He's going to be a crazy offensive person. He's going to be one of the most flexible and diverse players in Ego's toolkit. He can throw Bachira basically anywhere, and we now know it'll work. And of course, the door is open on some Kingdom Hearts type beat, because Bachira still has a long way to go. Clearly, I know he was being held back by a bummy team, but he needs to develop more. He needs to get stronger, and not just in the literal sense of, you know, getting his gains up, but he needs to get stronger in terms of his game, his analysis, and his evolution. And I think he's going to benefit a lot from being reunited with Isagi, being reunited with Rin, being united with Hiyori for the first time, and meeting all these different people, and reconnecting with them, and being able to act as both a creative piece that can do his own thing, and a piece of a system. Now that he has both, now he's clearly been able to operate in both, being the core foundation of a system, while also being its most free and creative piece, that is going to allow for such freedom and flexibility for a character who is so heavily steeped in his own freedom and flexibility. I'm excited because I can't tell what's going to happen, but I know it's going to be something good. And that's how you know a character was written well throughout an arc. You buff them, you get their gains up, you get their diversity up, you have them fulfill their original narrative role, and set them up for basically anything. Once again, Bachira can do kind of whatever. And the beauty of the U20 World Cup arc, in comparison to something like the Neo Aegis League or the U20 game, or even any of the selections beforehand, goals are unlimited. Goals are unlimited, and we got numerous games. The lowest number I've heard is 5. 5. And of course, Kaneshiro Sensei himself said Bachira may be getting something a little bit beefy real soon. So we are in for a delicious scrumbly top tier meal, and I'm ready to get to digging in. I don't know, man. I'm just so excited. I'm so happy how Bachira was handled, especially considering I was really worried he was going to get absolutely swept 4-0. But with that being the case, he got his one dub. He did good work. He's just a fantastic character, man. Really, really solid. Honestly, he is one of my favorites, but I still can't think of his top 5. I'm going to have to think about it. I just got to make a Blue Lock tier list at this point. There are so many characters in the manga that I just got to sit down and be like, hey, what do you think about this one? What do you think about this one relative to all of them? All I know is that Otoya is still a bum. Forever will be a bum. And he dragged down my Glorious King Bachira way too much. Get that bum off the pit. But of course, that's my thoughts on how Bachira was handled in the 80s League. Did you like how he was handled? Do you wish he got more? Do you think he should have gotten less? Do you think he should have gotten slept 4-0? Please let me know in the comment section down below. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, please leave Bum Toya. I'm sorry, I don't know why I've been hating on Toya. Leave Bum Toya in the comment section down below. I am out of time, but I want to thank you so much for watching. Please remember to leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. Make sure the notification bell so you don't miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, you even have a Patreon below where you can support me for as low as $1 a month. Things like exclusive videos, early content, and more. You can now become a member of the channel for as low as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. So those perks include the live reactions here this season to review, ad variations of all my videos, and if you become a $25 patron or a $25 member, you can order whatever video you want. Also the link to my Ko-Fi in the description down below. You can drop 5 views for a short video, 200 views on video, or any beats at all. Any support is always greatly appreciated. Now, I'd like to thank you so much for watching once again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is Back of the Pencil, writing off. I would like to give a thank you to our sketch tier members: Eternal Flame, Red Wolf 4765, Astro, Super Flame Zero, Glacier, XZ, Zera, Brendan Payne, J2MA, Guillaume, Buddha Uda, Alex Kenny, Yuki Ally, Enzo, Nevis 97, Zachary Wilson, Azo 2404, Planet Crone, Rye Rich, G Prosper, Swift Strike, Alexicon, Striker Man, and Autumn Mornings Lazo. Then, I'd like to give a thank you to our line art patrons: Sean, Midnight Lord 21, Kevin, Encarnacion, Dread Zoan, and A+A. Then, I'd like to give a thank you to our Ink tier members: Austin Wimberly, Euchia, and Shrimpo the Shrimp. Then, I'd like to give a thank you to our digital art tier members: J Warrior and AZ Void. And I'd like to give a thank you to our colored art tier patrons: Waki Munoz and Waki Munoz. And a final thank you to our ultimate, that guy with a pencil tier patron, Calvin's wife. Not Calvin Elder, who ultimately does have one of my kidneys, but now I must know, and I must undergo the process of getting the second one removed, so I can send the other over to this wonderful family.